Pain is often an invisible illness that cripples more than 120 million Americans. Drugs are often the first line of treatment, but senior health correspondent Monica Robbins found a drug-free alternative that uses something we breathe every day to take the pain away.
When lightning strikes, it turns oxygen into ozone. The same substance that shields you from the sun's ultraviolet rays has been used for half a century in Europe to treat everything from wounds to cancer. Now it's being used here to treat chronic pain.
Oxygen is something that's very essential to our health. The more oxygen people have, for the most part, the healthier they feel, the more calm they feel, the more fluid their body works.
A motorcycle accident paralyzed John Alcher 14 years ago. His arms and shoulders propel him through life, but pain stopped him in his tracks.
Prevent me from turning my neck to the right or any functions with my shoulder at all. It was really hard to sleep.
Traditional pain relief failed.
I just got to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore.
So he tried ozone therapy. In a medical setting, oxygen is fed through a machine that gives it an electrical pulse. The gas is then injected into a muscle or joint.
Ozone turns to peroxide chains in the body, which are loaded with oxygen, and this stays in the body a long time.
Unlike steroids or cortisone, there's no limit on ozone injections. Relief is fast and lasts 3 to 6 weeks.
Within 24 hours, I'm completely pain-free.
While 95% of patients at Summit Pain Specialists are still treated with medication, it may take a while for the alternative therapies to catch on because they're not covered by insurance.
Treatment called ozone therapy is also getting its share of attention.
Okay, so I'm taking a little bit of blood out, about 2 or 3 cc's.
Chris Sherm hasn't gotten sick yet, but he's taking action to make sure he doesn't. He thinks this shot will keep him from getting the H1N1 virus.
I just started a new job, and I knew that it had been going around. A couple of my friends had been feeling down, and I live a pretty active, healthy lifestyle, but I didn't want to be out for the count with this new job.
So here, this syringe is filling with ozone now.
The ozone treatment uses a patient's own blood, mixes it with oxygen and ozone, and re-injects the mixture.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. And the blood will go into the muscle. I don't need to put this in, so this is done.
Dr. Nobakova and her partner are both naturopathic doctors. They've seen quite a few people worried about getting the H1N1 virus, and they want these shots. Patients hope this therapy will deliver on the promise to boost the body's own ability to fight back.
The reason we do the minor ozone shots are because they stimulate that nonspecific or innate immune system, and which is the first line of defense when the body faces foreign viruses or bacteria.
Dr. Sunil Jain says ozone therapy is popular in parts of Europe, but here it's something that is still considered alternative. Mario Altieri came in for a shot at the first sign he was getting sick.
I came in and said, I have a lot of work coming up, and I can't afford to be out, and I know something's going on here, but I didn't know exactly what it was.
After a week, Altieri's regular doctor did diagnose him with the H1N1, but he says his reaction was much milder than most people had.
But I was functioning, and most everybody else was just at that first wave of it. I mean, they got it, and they were down for, at the time they said it was lasting 23 days.
Altieri said while he had all of the symptoms, headache, fever, and aches, none were so bad he had to quit working, and his recovery was quicker. Dr. Jain says that's proving true for most of the common flu as well.
Our average time for this season's flu is getting people over their symptoms in about 2 to 3 days.
We're the first clinic in South Florida to offer this therapy. We have patients calling from Tennessee, Virginia. We even had a patient call from Canada that wanted to fly down.
Here at Coastal Health Group in Jupiter, patients come in with all sorts of health problems. And they're using IV ozone therapy to change their lives.
Hashimoto's, celiac disease, rheumatoid arthritis, any condition where the immune system is overreactive. It also helps anybody with a chronic infection, bacterial, viral, or fungal. It also helps as a great adjunct therapy to anybody who's undergoing cancer treatments.
So, as a person suffering from celiac disease myself, I put this treatment to the test. They hooked me up with an IV, and I watched as blood was drawn out of my arm. I then watched as medical-grade oxygen was mixed with my own blood and then transferred back into my arm.
Most diseases are anaerobic, meaning they do best in an environment without oxygen, and by doing ozone therapy we are creating an aerobic environment.
So what are the benefits? Increased energy, better sleep, better digestion, and less bloating, just to name a few.
It's just increasing the amount of oxygen in the body, and good things tend to happen when you do that.